Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Mike McCarthy has hired agent Don Yee to represent him in final year of contract with Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys have a lot of work to do on the contractual side of things. Speaking during the team's pre-draft press conference on Tuesday, Jerry Jones did his best to calm the scene that he completely instigated on his own with his all-in comment has unfolded over the course of another offseason following a frustrating playoff loss. The presser became more of a defense for the offseason to date than an actual discussion on the 2024 NFL Draft. In it, the Cowboys brass talked in circles about not having long-term deals done with any of Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb or Micah Parsons. We have outlined the benefits of getting these deals done ASAP many times, particularly because these are foundational players of the team. Salary cap space can be relieved by way of extensions, and that space could be used to improve the roster. Roster improvement helps, well, everyone involved because it theoretically improves the chances of accomplishing the ultimate goal. Over the past few months, many fans have felt like the spirit is not properly being embodied by the front office, and therefore players on the team and coaches on the staff have less to work with for 2024. Among those who are being charged with making lemonade right now is head chef Mike McCarthy. The playoff loss was a colossal failure that McCarthy certainly holds his fair share of responsibility for, but his track record with the Cowboys is pretty impressive. Obviously, the lack of playoff success matters. In spite of the fact that McCarthy has overseen 3 straight 12-win seasons, taken the Cowboys to the playoffs following each of those campaigns, and been able to win when his roster has taken on serious damage by way of injury, he is entering the final year of his original contract with the team. The playoff failure that McCarthy has had warrants wanting to see more here. But McCarthy would have a legitimate case to say that he deserves some security. Consider that on Tuesday, during the aforementioned presser, Jerry Jones bragged about having McCarthy sitting next to him, citing his track record of developing offensive linemen. If that was really such a coveted thing to have around, maybe give the guy an extension? Whether for that reason or another, it is clear that McCarthy is taking his contractual situation seriously. According to Adam Schefter, he has hired agent Don Yee to represent him. There is no salary cap for coaches in the NFL, so the Cowboys could ultimately pay McCarthy all of the money in the world and not be at any sort of disadvantage from a roster-building standpoint. They are, after all, the most valuable professional sports team in the world. But the team remains non-committal on that point, which is why it is more than fair for McCarthy to establish someone to look after his future. Consider that he isn't even the only significant coach in a contract year with the Cowboys. New defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer's contract expires after this season. There is one common denominator around here. The Cowboys have had several months to work on extensions this offseason and currently have nothing to show for it. Will McCarthy have one sooner rather than later? Will Don Yee help make that happen? Cowboys pick up Micah Parsons' 5th-year rookie option. It's not an extension, but the Cowboys are ensuring pass rusher Micah Parsons is on the roster beyond 2024. Dallas has picked up the 5th-year option on Parsons' rookie deal, which is slated to cost $21.324 million, NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reported Wednesday. Parsons, who played the majority of his snaps last season at defensive end, is tagged as such. Thanks to his multiple Pro Bowl seasons, he's 3 for 3 so far in his career. Parsons is set to make more in 2025 than all non-quarterbacks from his class, who end up playing on the option aside from Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase, per over the cap. He would stand to make nearly $3 million extra at $24.007 million had he been designated as a linebacker. Given the May 2 deadline for teams to exercise options on the first-rounders from the 2021 NFL Draft, this move was a no-brainer to take place over the next week or so. On top of his 3 Pro Bowls, Parsons has twice been an All-Pro and was the Associated Press Defensive Rookie of the Year during his first season, rocking the star on his helmet. He's amassed 40.5 sacks, along with 213 tackles, 8 passes defensed, 7 forced fumbles and a defensive touchdown during his so far short but exhilarating career, and his arrival in Dallas coincided with the defense's rise to perennial top 10 status. The solution, of course, is a short-term one for now considering what Cowboys fans universally want. Despite owner Jerry Jones' claims of being all-in on 2024 after 3 straight 12-win seasons netted nothing beyond a single trip to the divisional round, Dallas has been notably silent in free agency. The team also has held off on extending its big three of Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb and Parsons. Jones reiterated his all-in stance on Tuesday, preaching patience and claiming he wants to see some more cards played. 24 hours later, the Cowboys played one by exercising Parsons' option. Time will tell what others they have up their sleeve as negotiations on a longer-term extension commence. Cowboys projected to add touchdown machine son of NFL legend. The Cowboys have a long list of needs heading into this weekend's NFL draft, and while ample focus will be on what they do with the number 24 overall pick in round 1 on Thursday, much of the real work will take place thereafter. After the initial list of obvious needs for help on the defensive and offensive line, the secondary list surely includes a running back as well as a number 3 receiver, with Michael Gallup having been released. The Cowboys have options, but none are proven and most are either long shots, comeback attempt player Martavis Bryant for example, or players who have not shown much yet, 2022 third-rounder Jalen Tolbert. Dallas would do well to throw another name into the mix, and for Cowboys.com analyst Patrick Walker, who covers the team as closely as anyone, a name to watch is a familiar one, Brenden Rice from USC. While Brenden Rice might not be a household name, there is no doubting that his father is, NFL legend Jerry Rice, arguably the greatest receiver of all time. And while the Cowboys famously fumbled the chance to add Jerry Rice 4 decades ago, Walker has them picking his son in 2024. Brenden Rice does not have the talent level that Jerry Rice had, of course, but he is looking to take an opposite course into the NFL that his father took. Where Jerry Rice was an overlooked prospect who played for Mississippi Valley State in college, but was impressive enough to warrant a first-round spot in 1985, Brenden Rice spent 2 years at Colorado before transferring to USC, 2 blue blood football powerhouses, for his final 2 seasons. Rice caught 45 passes for 791 yards last season, scoring 12 receiving touchdowns, which ranked tied for number 9 in all of college football. He is not the nuanced, precision player that his father was as a receiver, but rather is a much more physical player at 6'2", 208 pounds. He was solid at the NFL Combine, even if he did not drastically improve his stock. Rice ran a 4.50 40-yard dash, which was 24th out of 30 wide receivers. NFL.com's scouting report on Rice sees him as a potential contributor right away. He lacks sudden feet, so beating press cleanly and separating on short routes could be challenging as a pro. Rice possesses good build-up speed to create deep ball opportunities once his ball skills are added to the equation. Rice catches with quick, strong hands and good extension to help with frequent contested catches. There are some limitations at play, but he has enough check marks to project as an early backup with some upward mobility. Oh, and there was one pertinent note, too. Among Rice's strengths, touchdown maker, bringing in a score every 5.2 catches during career. Walker anticipates the Cowboys nabbing Rice relatively high, in the 4th round on Saturday. He is generally mocked into the 5th or 6th round, but he could be a fit for what Dallas needs. Rice is a prototypical outside X receiver, as Gallup was, who can use his length, size, and sticky grasp to high-point catches in traffic with defenders glued to his hip. Rice never, and I mean never, stops running to try and get open. He is a quarterback's dream because if they're forced out of the pocket, and to buy time to make a throw, Rice will always find a way to get open, never giving up on the play. If this generation's Rice can refine his footwork to his father's levels, the former being good at routes but not elite, yet, to avoid wasted movement pre-route, he'll be a machine for Dallas. That is a lot to live up to. But then, Rice has had a lot to live up to his entire career, so at least it can be said he is accustomed to it. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Brenden Rice? Leave your opinion in the comments.